Hey guys, John Engel here, and as spring is approaching, the pollen has fallen and is making a mess on everything, but this also means that normal maintenance has to be done. You can see there's a few cars behind me with hoods up, but the Jaguar is in the front bay, and it sounds like we have some sort of belt squeal. I'm hoping that's all it is, but it hasn't had a belt change in a while, so I figured the first thing that we could do was replace the belts and see if that fixes it. All right, let's get started. So now you hear the problem that we're having. Hopefully this won't be too difficult. I've really got to work very tightly up in here, and I'm not too excited about trying to work around it. So the XKR has two belts, one for the supercharger and one for all of the accessories. So I'm going to have to tackle both of those. I went ahead and ordered new belts. Both of them are here. One is for the Serpentine for the accessories, which is 7PK2345, and the other one for the supercharger is 8PK1320. So hopefully I'll be able to get these off and on fairly quickly, and that'll tell me if it is the actual belts or if it is a pulley. If it's a pulley, well then these are going to have to come back off and the pulley is going to have to be refitted. But there's no way to figure it out until you get to it. All right, time to get started. So working under the hood of this is a little bit cumbersome. The easiest thing to do is to put this into service position, which means we have to take both of these struts off, and then the hood will go up to 90 degrees, and you can put a bolt through right here on these holes. There should be a hole. Well, you can't see the hole on this side, but there's a hole on that side, and you'll see it when I put the bolt through so that it'll stay up. Once we have that, it'll be much easier to get through here because this won't be in the way and it'll be up at 90 degrees, so I won't be hitting my head all over in here. That's the first step that we need to get to. So to do this first part, you need a screwdriver, and down here, you're going to see that there is a little metal clamp that a screwdriver can just pry off, and then it'll pop off of there. Now, once we have this popped off, that one will not hold it up on its own, hence why I have the paper towels right here. I can lean the hood down so it lays on here but still doesn't crimp this because it's not going to be attached anymore, and it's going to be under here, and we don't want it to get bent or broken or have any issues. So let's see how easy this comes off. Right now we're looking at the base of this one hood strut, and you can see once we get that in, not too terribly difficult to get that out. Now, I am supporting this with my, oh, look at that. That just pops right off of there. But like I said, and check out what I'm doing right now, my head is holding this up. So it's not too much fun because that one strut won't hold it. So it's a good thing that we went ahead and put, and I'm going to put this up because I believe they say to put it towards the hood. Now let's see what happens. One more to go. Just have to get that screwdriver into the slot and pry it out just like that, and that will pop it out. Now I've got the hood where it'll go into a 90 degree right here that I can put this. That did not do at all what I thought it was going to do. Okay, so right now I've got the hood up at 90 degrees, and you can see where the holes are in the bonnet to keep it up. I was told that you could put a screwdriver through those and it will hold it up. So far, that is not the case. Okay guys, it wouldn't be any fun if nothing was a challenge. So I do agree with making the hood go to a 90 is the way to go. However, I removed one strut completely over here. I left this one hanging. I would probably just remove both of them totally when you're doing this. The second thing is, here's where it actually bolts. So you can see This bolt fits that hole almost perfectly, and you have to have that. If you just put a screwdriver in there, it starts to come back and it's not at 90 degrees and it has a hard time holding itself up. So I put bolts on here so that it won't move. It's got a nut so that it can't slide back out. And you can actually see where the bolt head actually rests on the frame here. And that gives it a little bit of extra support too. So my hood is up. And that really does give you a lot of room for activities up here, especially seeing that this is where we're going to be working. This is what you need to do. However, that was a pain in the ass already, and I haven't even removed a belt yet. First belt that's going to come off, supercharger belt, because that's on the outside. As you can tell right down there, there's the tensioner for the supercharger pulley, so we've got to get that off first. Once we release the tension from that, it'll just come right off. Now, I will show you something that I bought a long time ago. This is a serpentine bell toolkit. I actually got it, I believe, from Advance Auto. It has been a savior. This long rod is really what you're looking for, and it gives a good amount of torque and gets into narrow places. That's why it's flat. So we're going to actually take that out now, and we'll start on removing stuff. Look at that. That's what you want. See, nice and narrow, gets into those crevices. Also really good for back scratching. I mean, depends on what you're looking for, I guess. All right, so now we can kind of see this L that I'm talking about, and right down there is the adjuster directly below the light. So we're going to try to remove that. I don't know. I think all I have to do is put it right in there, pull it out, and it should come out right in there. There's a circle and then a square. That square fits that notch right on the end of the tool. So you can see the bar that's in there now. And this is the bar that's in there. I don't know if I'm going to ever get it back out. That thing is wedged in there tighter than I know what to make an analogy for. But this will allow me to get the belt off. So there we go. So that allows me to get this belt off like so. And that just keeps pushing. That's great. Just keep. All right, so that's off. All right, I'm putting gloves on. That means that we're getting serious. I'd like to talk to the designers at the time of Jaguar, and in 2001, Ford owned it. So, good job, Ford. Yeah, this is... So the belt is off except around this damn pulley. And the pulley goes on the inside. Who designs this? Who does this? Who do you know, Mr. Jones? You can see the belt all up here. But then when we get down here to the pulley right down there, it goes underneath it. And somehow I've got to get it around that. And even if I try to kind of go to the side of it, it just doesn't go through. See? Look at this. All right, all I can do is keep playing with it because sooner or later, it's going to come off of there. All right, supercharger belt out. I feel like this was a lot harder than it should have been. Why is everything harder than it should be? Anyway, one down, one to go. Let's see about the next one. All right, last belt. You can see where I put the socket onto the one pulley. That's the tensioner for this side. All I have to do is release the tension. This one should come off. Well, I'm not even going to say it. Anyway, let's try this out and see how this works. All right, so I've got the breaker bar onto what I think is the tensioner. Of course, my light is in the way. Nothing's ever as easy as it should be. La-di-di-da, la-di-di-di. Why would it be too easy? Second belt, much easier than the first belt. Now, it's a bigger belt, and it's got more to do, but as you can see, I've got both of those off. I've got a tensioner stuck on that, and I've got a tensioner stuck on the other one right down here. So, who knows? Hopefully we'll be able to get these back on. All right, big belt first. Let's get to that one. Look at this. All right, I will tell you one thing. After the supercharger belt, putting on the other belt, the main accessory belt, super simple comparatively. And it's all because of this one little area right there where you can see the pinch point. It is so difficult to get the belt through that small little gap for the supercharger. And now that's exactly what we have to do. All right, last one though. It's only taken me, what, 3 hours? Totally worth it. All right, final pulley. I just got to get this belt through that gap. You got to be joking. Did it go through? Look at this. Wow. What took me hours before just took me minutes now. That is wonderful news. Wonderful news. Not the worst job I've ever tackled. There's one spot that kind of cuts you up and you've got to finagle it through. But other than that, it's not too bad. Trying to get in there, having one of the serpentine belt tools definitely does help because it's so narrow, it allows you to get into those harder reach places. Other than that, it really is just making sure that you look at the diagram, make sure that you do it correctly. Everything went on so much easier than it came off. I have not put the hood back on yet, so I've got to put the struts and then connect those back up. I don't want to do that until I start it. So let's go ahead and start her up and see if the squeal is gone. That's going to be the next tip. One visual just to make sure nothing's in the way, like a flashlight on the pulleys. That would have hurt. All pulleys seem like they are aligned correctly, and of course they will fully align once the car starts, so that is good. All right, moment of truth. Let's start this bad boy up. Oh, please don't squeal. So that makes it worth everything. I mean, it is now running driving. It wasn't any of the pulleys, it was definitely the belts. They needed to be replaced, took care of it. Now I can drive her without people looking at me and thinking, what the hell is wrong with your car? Good. All right, make sure you like, subscribe, comment below. We'll catch you next time. Time for a bath and I'll finish this thing up. Bye guys.